I understand that everybody is not the same, especially when it comes to relationships. However, it is extremely important that you find somebody in your life that will encourage you to be a better person. My last relationship was so disappointing because as much as I encouraged him to be a better man, it seemed like nothing in him wanted to be better. I mean, he didn't even want to sit down and have the conversation about what kind of man he wanted to be or what kind of goals he wanted to have, and it seemed like he was complacent with his current living situation. When he lost his job, I helped him find a job. I would give him money sometimes. Anytime he needed a ride, I would give him a ride. If he needed groceries, I would take him to the grocery store. Anything that he wanted, he basically got from me. I was explaining to one of my platonic friends last night as we were talking that I always hear men tell me how good of a woman I am. I hear that often from my platonic friends, and I hear that from men I used to date or men that want to date me. And I want to explain to everybody that even out of all of the things that I've done inside of my relationships, there was still things that men did inside of those relationships to show that they weren't ready or to take advantage of the situation. And a lot of men just don't appreciate certain things. Each man has a different definition of what a good woman is. So one man's trash is another man's good woman. And the characteristics I have, the qualities that I have that make me a good woman doesn't necessarily mean that all men think this way. Rewinding back to what I just said about how I took care of him when he was unemployed and things of that nature, sometimes men enjoy that about women. You would think that a man would respect that about his women, because a lot of women leave a man while he down and kick him while he down, and I'm just not that person. I try to encourage the person that I'm with to be a better person. But then sometimes men don't appreciate the fact that you are more successful than they are, or you have more than they have, or whatever the case may be. And my last relationship, I can't say why it went wrong. I have no idea why this man was the way that he was, and I can only speculate why things went the way that they went. People have connections to certain people for certain reasons, and just because a person is considered a good woman or classified as a good man doesn't mean that every relationship that they get in, they're going to be loved back or respected back, because people come into relationships with their own baggage. They have their own things that they're bringing into the relationship, and their own beliefs and patterns and habits that you have to factor in when you trying to be with somebody. Friendship is very, very important. It's important that people understand something, especially women, that jumping into bed with somebody you met that day is not a good idea. You should at least consider being friends with that person first. It kills me. I never understand the logic of people who are walking around here looking for love, but ask for love later on, after they have slept with that person. That doesn't make any sense. That logic is backwards. Sex is not going to bring a man closer to the aisle to make him want to one day marry you. You have no idea what this man's viewpoints are when it comes to marriage, or you as a man don't know how this woman feels about what being a wife means. Not every woman wants to be a wife, and not every woman is a good wife. If your legs open very easy, then I'm extremely worried about you. And fellas, you're sticking your dick in anything because you feel like coming is one of those things that you should do daily. Coming is like those requirements that you need in order to survive. And whatever is in the male psyche that allows you to believe such bullshit, I will never understand. When I was just asking a friend of mine to explain to me what a bust down was, he kept calling the girls that he sleep with bust downs. And I said, what is a bust down? Is a bust down a fuck buddy? And he said, no. That's similar, but these women have less respect. So I'm thinking to myself, wait a minute. Explain this to me. Okay, what would possess a man to insert himself inside of a woman that don't even have enough respect for herself to earn his respect? Like, I don't understand why a man would do such a thing. Like, if you don't respect this woman, why are you sticking yourself inside of her? That means you have no real respect for yourself. And then that's when we got into the conversation where men have to, come daily, just like brushing your teeth. And I said, okay, I understand that. Would you brush your teeth with a toilet bowl cleaner? Because that's basically what you're doing when you sticking your dick inside of a woman that you don't even have any respect for. You don't know what this woman is doing. And clearly, if she's accepted the title of being a bust down, that means that she's not just sleeping with you, she's sleeping with other niggas too. You ain't the only one. You're not it. She's not trying to invest all of her time in you if she has settled for this arrangement. It's somebody else in her life. It's more than one dick in that pussy. Of course you want to bust, of course you want to come, but that's not something that's required for survival. It's all about pleasure, and I'm not encouraging people to not go after, one night flings. If that's really your thing and that's what you want, and that's even what you want deep down inside, roll with that. But 9 times out of 10, the men that's going around jumping from woman to woman to woman to woman, that's not even what you want. What you want is one woman. I believe that men feel a whole bunch of pressure when it comes to trying to impress their homeboys, because you guys are used to telling each other how y'all champions in bed. No man wants to say, hey, by the way, I'm only sleeping with one woman, because these men get made fun of for not having multiple women. And it's a shame to me, because I don't see how healthy relationships could come out of any of that if women are programmed to believe that we should only have one man, and women that have more than one man are considered a hoe. But men jump from woman to woman to woman to woman, and that's acceptable, and they're meeting all these women and going through them like Kleenex, destroying these women on the inside, and having no kind of sympathy for these women at all, because they feel like, well, they could take advantage of somebody that's fragile or weak or doesn't know any better. You should take more responsibility for your actions than that. What kind of man are you? What kind of man do you represent? Are you really that kind of person? When somebody takes advantage of you, you are the first to cry, oh, black women ain't shit. But you go and take advantage of a vulnerable, weak woman that don't know no better. Y'all can sit here all day and say, oh, these women want to be hoes. They don't want to listen to what we trying to say. No, you haven't tried hard enough. You need to think a little harder about how much you care about yourself, because just as insecure you think this bust down is, you are just as insecure on the inside, because you are allowing yourself to insert yourself inside of this woman that you don't even have respect for. Think about that. Like, you need to switch the perception. Your perception of this situation is destroying you, and you have no idea.